Hi everyone, I just thought I'd do a video today on how to become a florist that works from home. I spent a lot of time in the run-up to opening my business looking on YouTube, looking online for people who have made content and posted content about being a florist, becoming a florist that works at home, and there wasn't a lot of it. So I thought, do you know what, I'm just gonna do it. So I've made a little list, but most of it's going to be off the top of my head, so I'm just going to be honest and just tell you what I know from experience. So to begin with, I would definitely say before you become a florist anywhere, you obviously need to have some experience. So go and try and volunteer at your local florist or your local garden centre, or just do like maybe a college course or an online course. You can do online floristry courses. Just gain some experience if you haven't already, obviously. If this is completely from scratch, then, but if you've been doing floristry for a while, then obviously the next tips will be for you. But if you're starting completely from scratch, definitely gain some experience. Number two, and this is probably the most important thing, and this was the thing that I sort of had to learn in the process and through the journey, is where you want to be. At home, a shop, like have an actual premises, a market stall, do a number of markets and all this sort of stuff. I originally started off working from home, and then was fortunate enough to get a market stand outside a cemetery, and I had that for the season. I had that from March in 1 year to October of the same year, but then had to close for the winter because the cemetery closing hours and stuff like that, and the weather and all of that stuff. I was only allowed it for that amount of time, so I had to give it up in October, and then the following March COVID came along, so I didn't go back to the market stall. If I'm honest, I probably wouldn't have anyway, because during that period of Christmas, from when I gave up the store in October, I learnt that I could basically do everything from home without paying the extra fee for the store and the license and everything else that you need. So yeah, I love working from home. Like I did the market store, I loved it, it was really nice. I did gain like a lot of customers who are still returning to this day, but it just wasn't for me, just being there. It wasn't busy enough, it wasn't a very busy cemetery, it was on a busy road, and most of the sales actually came from just passing by people that were just driving on the road and knew I was there. So this is a really important thing for you to figure out. You need to figure out if you want to work from home and do everything online, if you want to have a shop, or if you want to have a studio, or whatever it is. But definitely look into the cost, do your market research, go and see how busy the cemeteries are, the markets are, or whatever. Go and see if there's a gap in the market that you can fill at these marketplaces, because I think you'll find that most of the marketplaces, locally to me anyway, they've already got a florist there. Attend the market, see if they're busy. Ask people if that's what they're looking for. Ask people, existing market stall holders, if there's been florists there previously and how well they did and how long they was there for and stuff like this. Go and don't be afraid to ask the questions, because ultimately this is your business. So don't be afraid to ask people questions. The worst that can happen is someone saying, no, I'm not interested, I don't want to answer your question, and you move along. But that is definitely something that I learned whilst doing it, and I wish I did more research at the time. Secondly is you have to have a unique selling point, something that no one else offers. Competition in this industry is fierce. It is fierce, and you have to have something. And that's not to say, I mean, I know I say unique selling point, so you'd think it would be a product, right? And it has to be a product. But I think it also, for me personally anyway, I think it has a lot to also do with the way you do business, the way that you talk to your customers, the way you engage with customers, the way you are online, and the way you carry yourself as a business owner, that also has a lot to do with it as well. So I just think, when I say unique selling point, I mean, so for argument's sake, I specialise in funeral tributes. That's what I pride myself on, is funeral tributes. I also do bouquets. I also do dried flowers. These are mine. You can find these on my website, and the vase. And as well as those being main points of sale, I also have bespoke bouquets, and I have bespoke structures, like wedding structures. I have the hoops and I have the arches, and I dress them in artificial stuff. I'll try and post a picture in here of what I mean. That for me is my unique selling point. It's the bespoke side of stuff. It's the rare, one of a kind things that not other florists, traditional florists, are doing. So for argument's sake, seasonal, I always have like seasonal picks. Like I have little mini pumpkins to go in the autumnal bouquets, and it's just making things special and personalised for me. I think that's my unique selling point. And if you know me, you know I don't mind making a fool of myself on social media and just to my customers. I'm just open and honest, and I'm just a fool. I just like being like bubbly. I think that makes me unique as a brand, because I am my brand, and if it's easy for me to get on with people and have a laugh and just be different and be friendly and stuff like that and go the extra mile, I think that is also very important. So yeah, you have to have a unique selling point before you go into this. So have a little think about what other florists near you do locally, what they're not doing. You have to find a gap. There has to be a gap, because if there's no gap and you're just doing the same stuff, then there's loads of competition. There's loads of people that are doing the same stuff, and there's loads of traditional florists that are all doing the same thing, and bouquets and all of this stuff. But you have to have something that these people don't have, that makes them come to you. You have to be the one that is outstanding. So yeah, just have a little think. Go do some, again, do your research. Do some research. Go into other florists and have a little nose and have a little snoop. Go on their social medias. See what they're like on their social media platforms. See if they're present. See if they're active all the time. See their response rate and stuff like this. But yeah, it's just a lot of research, but it'll all be worth it in the end. Obviously a name, a business name. My list. And then you need to know the running of a business. So maybe do a course, do some research on YouTube, speak to other people who you know that are self-employed, have their own businesses, etc. Because you need to have working hours, opening hours, reachable, contactable hours. Yeah, then you need an accountant, you need a strategy, you need a statement, you need a model, and you need plans. All of this I learned in my degree, thankfully enough. So yeah, I know all of this stuff, but you can do courses. You can do like a business course online. You can find out most of this stuff on YouTube. But you have to make sure everything is in place before doing any of this business stuff. Self-employment, insurance, licenses if you are going to be doing market stalls, etc. Please make sure you get the right insurance, especially if you're going into venues. If you're a wedding florist, or you are doing flowers for a church, for a funeral, say, when you're going into these premises and these venues, I can't express to you how important it is that you have insurance for your own safety, but also more importantly for your customers and other people's health and safety. So yeah, look into that. You can get specific businesses that just do floristry insurance. You can get wedding florist insurance. again, it's just research. It's just having a checklist, going through it and then ticking them off as you go. So yeah, insurance, licenses for market stalls, etc. I had to have a license for the stall outside the cemetery. That's just straight through the council. But to even get a pitch, you have to go through like a market manager or something like that, and they'll tell you what they require for you to have a pitch. So all of that they'll tell you anyway. Business model, plans and statement. My business statement, I'll be doing it in a separate video, I think, because it's quite important to me, and it's important that people know what it is about. But you need to have a statement. You need to know what direction your business is going in, what it stands for, what makes your business better than the florist down the road. And once that statement and your mission is clear and it's being carried out and you're doing it and people know it and it's showing, you will naturally gain more customers and you will naturally gain more interest on your platform. And it's something that needs to be off the top of your head. It can't, you just need to know what your business mission statement is. It has to be natural. It has to be so on the spot that if someone says to you, what does your business do? Why should I come to you over the new season florist down the road? You know straight away to say it like that, and the person will think, wow. I did this as a pitch, if you like. I just used to stand there and just constantly have it in my head, constantly be thinking it, saying it aloud when I'm walking around the house, in the bath, getting into bed, getting dressed, whatever it is, I was saying it. And I know it's natural in me now. I know it off the top of my head. It's not something that I need to think about. If someone says to me, oh, what does your business do? I just naturally, confidently as well. And this is the other thing, you have to be confident in what you're saying. You can't sort of be like, oh, because people will just switch off. They won't engage. So have a statement, have a mission, say it to yourself religiously every day, whenever you can, whenever you're thinking about it, just say it. So that if it ever comes to the point where you've got a customer in front of you, or you've got a client in front of you, or you go into a venue and someone comes over to you, the manager of the venue comes over to you, and there's a possibility you might be recommended at that venue, and it all rides in how you introduce yourself and your business, you better know it. Gain experience, more, as much as you can get. Gain the experience. You can never have too much experience. That is the logic of it. I am still gaining experiences on a daily basis. Gain experience, know where and how you want to do business. So again, it's the studio, if you want to be at home, markets, whatever it is, you need to know that. And then you need to have a unique selling point, what makes you stand out from the crowd. And then do your research, have everything in a plan somewhere, have a business plan with the name across the front of it, your pitch across the bottom of that. And then maybe in your research plan, in your business plan, have, like I always continuously am changing to, a year plan, a 3-year plan, a 5-year plan. And each year they always change, but they change because obviously my 1-year plan isn't always going to be my 1-year plan. My 1-year plan from the 3 years is brought forwards when that year is up, if that makes sense. So you're always adding on to the end of your years. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, definitely have like a 1-year, a 3-year and then a 5-year plan in place. And that is probably the best advice I could give to you at this moment in time, is to just do your research. Oh, please do your research, because you honestly, and it depends obviously how driven you are and stuff like that, and how motivated you are, but I found it such a drag to do all of this stuff. And I just thought, oh, because I could never, at that time, at the beginning, when I was sort of, not lazy, but you know what, when you just think, oh, I can't see it ever happening, because it's not happening tomorrow. It doesn't happen like that. You have to do these things step by step, and it's a slow process, but it's worth it. And you are daily doing stuff that supports you towards your dream. Daily do your research. Always be on social medias if you're working from home and stuff like that and you're working online. Always be active and reachable within hours. And just, yeah, just do it. Just go for it. I would say just go for it, because for so long I put it off because I didn't feel like I was ready. I didn't feel confident enough to do it by myself, because I'd always had someone being my manager and I was just working for someone, that I was so scared to do it. I just kept putting it off. Don't put it off, just do it. If it doesn't work, you know, you just change the strategy, you change the approach, you do something different. It's fine, that happens. I've had to change my strategy, I can't even tell you how many times. It changes all the time, seasonal. All the time it changes, because it has to change. In order for something to grow, it has to change. If something isn't growing and is always staying the same, it will always be the same. So it's safe to do that. It's okay to do it. But yeah, let me know if you just message me. You can find me on Instagram, you can find me on my website, you can find me on Facebook. If you have any other questions and you want to have a chat about it, I'm all open to have a chat. So just message me, find me on Instagram, give me a follow and message me, and I'm all for helping, letting you know in depth like my experience. I hope you like this video, and let me know what you want to see from me next.